there is a vast empty parking lot behind us. So you might think that the Royal Tyrrell Museum, or is it Tyrrell? Not sure. But anyway, the Royal Tyrrell Museum here in Drumheller isn't very popular. But that's just because we're out here in the RV and overflow parking area, and it's a Monday morning. We were here a couple weeks ago, not to actually go to the museum, but just to go through the parking lot, and it was complete chaos up there. So we've already pre-purchased our tickets. We have a 10:30 time for our tickets, so we've got about 15 minutes to wander up the trail to the museum proper. Let's go check it out. So from the overflow parking lot up this to the museum, there are a fair number of stairs. There is a shuttle that operates. So if you can't make the stairs, you can ride the golf cart up. And I'm pretty sure they put this sign here just for us. I think it's staring at me. You've reached the end of time. Oh, okay. We are the red dot. Yes, discovered during flood mitigation paleontology work. Meaning, when they came along with a giant bulldozer, they accidentally scraped it up from the earth. So you have an idea. The guy, when we came in, we were a little early for our ticket time, and he said, oh, that's no problem. It's not very busy today. So this kind of gives you an idea of what not very busy today looks like. Quartz and feldspar, minerals very common on the Earth's surface. I know when I took my geology class, my answer for any sort of mineral identification, if I wasn't sure, was always quartz. Well, that's quite the display. Some people in front there for scale. So yeah, according to the sign, it's like the skull is a cast, but the rest of the T-Rex skeleton is apparently real. The skull's too heavy to actually mount here. Yeah, it's so bizarre to think that things like that once lived. Like, that's insane. I do not have an eye for detail. I would just see that as a rock. Yeah, I'm like, well, No matter how bad things ever get at work, at least I can remind myself I don't have to work in a place where I am behind glass like an animal in a zoo, where people come to watch me work. And then the artist's rendition. Real thing, artist's rendition. One thing that makes filming here a lot easier is there's enough noise and people around that when you talk, you don't actually feel like you're disrupting the experience for anybody, unlike a lot of quiet museums. There we go, I wrote my name in the dust.
Is among our earliest ancestors. Ambushing an unsuspecting Yahoya, five-eyed Okaminia prepares to feed. Below, Hallucigenia steps delicately across a decaying sponge. Rows of protective spines make Hallucigenia an unappealing target for predators.
Happen to die in the right spot, and people will be looking at you millions of years later. Pick the wrong spot to die, and you are forgotten. As our tour continues, you are here. 114 fish that died when their pond dried up.
Teeth?
The bones of your jaw? Yeah, you'd think. Hand for scale. I didn't touch the exhibit. Nobody saw that. Oh, we have reached extinction event number 2. Dun 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 dun.
Stubby limbs.
Yeah, he's a cute little fella. Trapped in a stump. 315 million years.
I thought it was
Ariups?
so we are now
Ariups?
entering the, what period are we entering? Mesozoic, and it's got
Yeah.
Surroundings are all different. It's good that they keep updating.
Extinction number 4. We were kind of overwhelmed by the size of it. It was just so big. That's what she said. In contrast to the rest of the museum, which is fairly noisy, loud, dare I even say chaotic, the Cretaceous garden is actually much more quiet and peaceful. Reminds me of being back in Hawaii again. And here we go. We have made the Jurassic period. And it kind of feels like this is what everyone has been waiting for and leading up to. This is what you think of when you think of this museum. Dinosaur skeletons. Many, many dinosaur skeletons. Such a small head and skull for such a large creature.
Jurassic Park was kind of a misnomer.
So time for the sequel to Jurassic Park, Cretaceous Park.
Funny, because most of the T-Rexes and stuff were Cretaceous.
DC license plates WA7954. Come to the visitor services. ZQ. Come to the visitor services. The driver of the Great Layer. RA84. Quebec license plate.
Regaloceratops Peter Husey is a Chasmosaurine ceratopsian. That just sounds made up. Not to mention, very difficult to say. "8 meters of fearsome carnivore. Crack through bone and rip carcasses apart with ease." And as Emily said, the star of the show, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And Triceratops, with the T-Rex, probably the two most famous, well-known dinosaurs. And here they are, together, forming a perfect end to the tour of the museum. So that is going to wrap it up for our visit to the Royal Tyrrell Museum. We were in there about 2 hours, so a little over 2 hours, probably 2.5 hours, and didn't show you everything, but showed you lots. I think a little bit of a pro tip would be, if you can handle the stairs, take into the overflow parking. It's way less chaotic, way more enjoyable than dealing with the chaos in the main parking lot. And if you have an RV, you don't really have a choice.